Alrighty, we're gonna be playing some Caves of Quad. This is sort of gonna function as like me rambling and playing the game at the same time to hopefully create something entertaining. I'll probably end up ranting about like all the different ways to make yourself OP and like stuff I've learned while I've played. So I'll probably end up assembling this into like informative stuff and entertaining stuff, and hopefully try to accomplish some balance. So beginning, we're going to be playing a frickin' Trukin, because those guys are ballers and awesome, because they get those cool starting attributes, and all the subclasses are really cool and give you some pretty good starting gear, so you can kick ass. I went with Sizigrior. These guys are like the really edgy jungle dudes. Basically, they get a ton of agility. They get, some cool cybernetics. They get jungle lore, and they get a pretty sick loadout. So we're going to start off in Joppa because they teach Harvestry, and it's a nice easy start. God, I do love generating my static encounters. So I always just grab this quest as soon as I start because it's an easy way to get some experience after taking a pleasant little stroll to Red Rock. Sometimes there's monkeys here, sometimes there isn't. This time there are monkeys, and monkeys can be honestly kind of troublesome early on because those rocks are annoying, and you don't get the as far as I know, you don't get the flinching away thing from that perk in Acrobatics, the one that normally gives you projectile flinch. Rocks, I guess, don't count as missile weapons because obviously they're just thrown and not missile. It's time to run away because there's a lot of monkeys. I'm surprised. I don't want to speak too soon, but I survived. Ooh, is that a grenade? You can never have too many hand grenades in this world. That's something I've always learned. Something else I learned? Alligators are free kills. It's pretty baller. Oh, another grenade. Alright, interesting. Looks like we've got a pretty good field, honestly, with some interesting artifacts. Looks like, ooh, ring mail. That should sell well enough. Cool, yeah, looks like just random artifacts. I'll tell you, night vision is really, really, really good. Because like your vision is as good as if it were, complete full, daytime. That's the thing. None of the other light sources and really anything else does that for you. Even mutant night vision isn't that good. Mutant night vision is actually kind of shitty, to be honest with you. It's not really any better than just a normal torch. So honestly, you could justify not picking it and then just, relying on a torch until you can find a floating light orb or something. Because those things, you can find them probably by the time you're like a level 8. You should have found one if you're lucky. Really not anything too crazy. Where's that alligator? Gone? Alright, so we survived the monkeys once, but let's see if we'll be so lucky this time. One dead monkey. 2 dead monkeys. If I mess up, I'll be a dead monkey. Shit. Monkey killed me. Well, that's how it goes. But hey, you get used to this stuff, You really do. So boom. Back to Red Rock. Monkeys, monkeys. We're gonna freaking rush them down and kill them as quick as we can. Because it is really a bad idea to take your time when fighting monkeys. Another thing you gotta do too is make use of angles and stuff and trees. Because sightlines, like if they can't see you, they won't throw rocks at you. Because they don't understand the difference between cover and concealment since they're monkeys. Nighttime is great too because you have enhanced vision. They don't actually. They can see you from a little, like they have. I think they have like mutant night vision basically, in terms of how far they can see. It's not very far at all. It's only like maybe 10 squares or something like that, if not a little less. I'll name it something cool. James's Shiv. Perfect. All right. Beautiful. We're gonna name it. We're gonna make it an eater color because that's cool. Eater stuff is sick. Because the eaters, well, tell you they're hungry. All right. Temporary retreat to recover my glorious HPs. Look, see, the monkey's not gonna come over here because of that tree, and this monkey is like retarded. Crazy. Bam, rest up to full. And this monkey sat here the whole time waiting for me because he's a dumbass. So monkeys are stupid. Take advantage, and you can whittle down their numbers to get them XP points. First thing I always usually get is acrobatics. It's handy. It's, you know, it's just some of the first really annoying enemies you encounter are those seed spitters in the early dungeons, early caves, and oh my god, such a pain. But they're a breeze when you get like, you know, a shit zillion dodge points. All right, down into the hole. The monkeys have been beridden. Always got to remember to eat. With this build, I'll be honest, like we start off with some good stuff. This is like a steel short sword, and we get a steel warhammer. That's like, you know, that's nothing to scoff at. I always put my short sword in my offhand because it complements the short sword's perks really well. But yeah, and you also start off with some pretty good like dodge related gear, as well as that extra agility bonus. Yes, burp. So anyhow, you should have a, you know, solid enough dodge value and good enough weapons that you can, you know, pretty much clap most of the early game enemies due to their lack of health and shitty ability scores. And I mean, of course, I put most of my points into agility, and, you know, some into strength, some into toughness, and the rest into intelligence. Oh, look at that! We just found a bag of money lying in a chest. That's epic. Because as a wise man once said, you know, that water stuff, that's money. Water's money. Yep. Bonk. Level 3. Look at us. We're gaining levels like a champ. You know, oh, dead. He's dead. You see that? Not alive. These guys, a little tougher, but on their own, you can, honestly, you can circumvent a lot of stuff pretty easily on your own. Just with good dodges and, you know, enough reserve HP. Yeah, these things kick ass. But luckily I kick harder ass. That thing doesn't kick any ass. Gets kicked in the ass. This thing, dead. Another thing too is luckily we have this handy dandy little feed. So you could always check, you know, oh shit, that's a bear. This thing might give me a run for my money. So I'm gonna, ooh, okay, good. It's always good when you can get flying stuff to help you out. And look at that, bear's dead. So excellent. We are now going to wait to get our XP or our HP back because it would be very unfortunate to die. Some random garbage that nobody cares about whatsoever. Dead thing. But yeah, sometimes enemies can have good swords and stuff that you might need. So, Yeah, that's always good. And jewel encrusted stuff. Any really good gear. But that's one more layer down. You know what? I'm going to slaughter this crowd of Snapjaws. And then we're going to do something really epic and cool. And we're going to get an agility point. And that'll end up... like, okay, shortly along in your leveling, you get, like... You know, a single point to all your attributes as you level. Which is pretty swag. Oh yeah, we went for Spry because that extra 2 dodge value. Great stuff. You want to stack your dodge as soon as you can if you're doing this sort of build that I like to do. Which you will all get to see play out, assuming this playthrough doesn't go to shit. So, you know. Just get that dodge value up ASAP is usually the first thing we do. It's all about that survivability stuff. Just so that we can survive and get XP. And, you know, get to the point where we can actually slaughter stuff and put points into, you know, cooking and tinkering. Well, actually, I haven't messed with tinker yet, so we'll see about that. But, you know, you just afford to diversify your portfolios, you know. That way you have a stable investment platform for your future in the developing, you know, third world country that is CUD. See, like, look at that. Sharp iron longsword. You know what I'll do? I'll replace my steel warhammer because another way to stack your dodge value that works out very well. Oh yeah, +1 penetration too because it's sharp, which is really good. 7 penetration is nothing to scoff at this early on. By the way, penetration, extremely important stuff because as far as I understand it, for every level you penetrate beyond your opponent's armor value, that's like an extra, you know, roll of the dice of damage you do, which is pretty sick. But yeah, another way to stack your dodge value is using the defensive stance you get from long blade. So throw a long blade in your main hand, and bam, you've automatically got those 2 stances. And aggressive stance is useful too for just mob clearing, or if you want to make a last ditch attack, because you know an extra penetration is, you know, that's an extra dice roll, which is a couple extra damage, which could theoretically help you out. Especially once you upgrade it to like advanced, you know, aggressive stance. And honestly, just the stances in general are really handy for a lot of situations. So, highly recommend. But passively, I always run defensive stance to get that extra dodge value bonus. Mainly just for survivability and its groups of mobs. Which is very important when you run dungeons because you face a lot of groups. But, you know. Whatever. Get obliterated. What am I to do, even? Nowhere to explore? Alright, well, we got another level, so we're going to get Longblade. Boom. Pop on defensive stance, and now we've got 19 dodge value. As well as, you know, some pretty wicked weaponry. So all those white things on the right, all those are, all the whites are times when I dodge, all the reds are when I get hit, and all the greens are when I do some hitting. So you can pretty much see it's just the occasional little bit of red, and then just a whole lot of green and white. And eventually, like, it'll get to the point where there's just nothing but just giant streaks of white and green. It's actually insane. I kind of got cucked and messed myself up like way late into my greatest build, or my greatest run with this build. But oh shit! Speaking of, I'm dead. I kind of figured that was gonna happen, but you know, I decided I'd chance it anyhow. But you know, once you get to those really high dodge values, it just gets absolutely absurd.